Welcome to the Diaries of Anxious Black Mom. I'm your host, Salam Miscano. Every week, I and my occasional guest share personal journeys in work, self-improvement, relationships, all with a lens of personal experiences of being a Black mom. Let's get started. Good morning, everyone. This is Salam. Thank you for coming to the Anxious Black Mom podcast. And today is a beautiful day. Starting out, it's totally fall in Seattle. You could see it in the trees. The leaves are changing colors. The parks that are near my house, they're changing colors. All the trees going from green to more yellow and red. And it's just beautiful time of the year. Seattle actually has Hi everyone. Sorry, I got interrupted. My husband called me as I was driving away, and he had forgotten the lawnmower? Yeah, he left it in the back of the car, so he needs it so he can, I guess, mow the lawn. So I'm actually going back right now to my house to make sure that he gets that out before I leave for the day. Anywho, but what was I saying? I was saying that the fall is really beautiful in Seattle. We have the best fall. I think people say the summers in Seattle are the best. I agree, and I also think fall is it's pretty much up there. I feel like it would tie with summer, because although it does rain, it's just so beautiful. Seattle is already very green, so it's just, we have a lot of trees, we have a lot of greenery, we have a lot of plants and, forests and hikes and just a bunch of natural environment. So the fall just kind of adds some more color to it, and it's really gorgeous. And I feel like the air just feels the cleanest to me during the fall, and that could just be in my head, but I just like fall. So even though we're in like a pandemic and everything feels very different, I still feel like fall is a nice, it's a nice feeling of transition to new things growing, things like that. So I think that's beautiful. And but today I actually wanted to talk about hopefully you guys hear the train. We have a light rail system in Seattle, so that's what that is, the sound. But okay, let me concentrate. I feel like today my brain is feeling all over the place. But yeah, I think so. Pretty much what I want to talk about is this weekend was the celebration. It's called Mezcal. My family and I, we're Orthodox Christian. So even though I'm not really super religious, but I still celebrate all the religious holidays and, do my occasional church going as well. At least, when there was no COVID-19. But yeah, so it's really nice to have this holiday. It's called Mezcal. So last week or 2 weeks ago was the Ethiopian New Year, and we have a completely different calendar than the European calendar, or even like some of the Asian countries have their own calendar, but we have our completely different, and we are actually year 2013 right now. So here in the US, obviously we're in 2020, but in Ethiopia it's year 2013, so it's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's really nice. And so then the next celebration that's actually religious is then the Mezcal celebration. And the Mezcal celebration, I don't quite know how to explain it in English, but pretty much, after Jesus was killed on the cross, and then I believe the story goes that the actual cross that he was sacrificed on was then spread around and buried or something like that. And then people were trying to find it so that they can preserve it, and it has holy spirits and things like that. Okay, as you could tell, I'm not very versed in the Bible stories, but either way, this is a celebration of that one of the crosses being found. And so okay, he's still fine. All right, sorry guys. So then the cross gets found, and this whole thing is a celebration of that. And it's actually believed, at least by folks who believe in the Orthodox Christian religion, Ethiopians, they believe that one of the pieces of the cross is actually saved in Ethiopia, and one of the northern parts, one of the churches. So that's a story that that is a belief people have in Ethiopia. So anywho, so this celebration is really, really special for Ethiopians. There's usually a big mass public gathering where there's fire, or kind of it's almost like campfire, but I don't know how to explain it. It's bigger than that, a huge, so there's this fire thing that people do, and it's a huge celebration is the point. And not only that, but the particular ethnicity called Gurage, which is what my dad is, because Ethiopians have there's a lot of ethnicities, and this one, the Gurages, really celebrate this particular holiday, and they have very special kind of foods and things like that they use to celebrate it. Specifically, something called kocho and kitfo, and kitfo is just raw beef, marinated, lots of Ethiopian butter in it, which is spiced butter in it, and it's a really popular dish during that time. And so again, it's just for those who are Christian, this is how they celebrate it. So now that I've given you the context, I obviously live in the US, so we don't have the same thing, although there's definitely, we do just celebrate as much as we can, usually when churches are not feared like they are right now. Any public gathering is discouraged, so a lot of people probably didn't go to church, but my parents still really try to preserve the culture. And one of the things that I really appreciate about living near my parents is, besides a lot of the actual day-to-day support they give me and my family, is that also they are kind of our cultural home and foundation. And I think that's really big, because I feel I don't always know all of our cultures and the cookings and the traditions and all of those things. I just don't know, because half my life I've been here in the US, and then the other half I was very young in Ethiopia, so I didn't necessarily learn to do those things. And so even though I have all of this soul, I connect to it at a spiritual level, but I don't necessarily always know how to carry out those practices. And also because I'm not always I am part of the Ethiopian community, but then I'm also part of the just the communities that I'm part of here in the US, so I don't always have the knowledge and know how to carry those things out. So it's always nice to have a place where we could go for all the holidays, eat the food and participate in that and engage with that together. And I really think that that's really big, and this is one of the reasons that we really like living in Seattle, because I think without my parents, it would be really hard for me to, I guess at least it would be I would have to take on a lot more responsibility in terms of learning those traditions and actually carrying it out in my own home. And it's really important to me that Abim, our daughter, really learns these things, and kind of not even learn them, but integrate them into how she thinks. So for me, even though, I might not know all the practices, those experiences that I have being part of this culture really shapes who I am as a person. And so I want her to have that experience, because our culture is very communal. It's very much, you're helping your extended family. You really stick together. It's like a tribe of family members, and that just kind of has a, you know, if you can imagine a lot of circles, and all of those embed, like, kind of like overlaying with each other, you know, and so we're very strong in our network, and so I really want her to have that kind of mentality, and I don't want her to grow up in a very individualistic kind of way, and I think my parents really help us to do that. And in addition to that, though, I also think I do need to step up some of my, you know, actual practices, learning some of the cooking or practices or whatever they are. I gotta really learn that, because I can't always just rely on my parents to do it for me. You know, I think I do need to take that on a little bit more, but right now, for what it is, they are there, and they've always been there for us in that way, and I'm really appreciative of my parents for that. And they always are someone who, they're definitely a couple that have always been a home base for just beyond me and my siblings. They've always been a place for broader communities to come together. They've always been that way, whether it's in their church community or just neighborhoods and things like that. They're always the to-go family for that type of support. And so I'm really honored that they're my parents, you know. And so that is today's episode. Or this week's episode. I've been singing in the back, but she likes this one song called Wende Meyako, and it's like a what do you call it? I think it is originally an Ethiopian song. Yeah, it goes like Wende Meyako, Wende Meyako, Tanya hoy, Tanya hoy, right, Mama? She said, Anyway, she likes that song. And again, great example of how she's learning our language and things like that. And that's because she's spending time with my mom and my parents. So, anywho, shout out to immigrant parents, always for being that foundation and helping keeping us grounded in this crazy time. So, all right. So have a great day, and yeah, I hope you're going into the fall with some freshness, some newness, some opportunity to like let go of some things and come into some new things as well. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to go to my Instagram, Anxious Black Mom. Also, you can email me at anxiousblackmom@gmail.com. All right, talk to you next week. Bye.
Vabbè, say bye.